now joined by Marco Angelino, and he's the Head of Administration, Finance and Control for Southern Africa at Enel Green Power. Marco, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting.
Marco, let's look at the Scaling Solar, which is a World Bank Group solution for governments. How important have private-public partnerships been in this process?
Public-private partnerships are essential to succeed in the renewable energy environment, particularly when we work in emerging economies. Because most of the time emerging economies do not have a regulatory framework that gives enough comfort to the private investors in order to invest. In this context, obviously, the presence of the World Bank and the implementation of programs like the Scaling Solar becomes really important, because they are a perfect bridge between the expectation of the private investors and at the same time the needs of the government, by ensuring that the processes in terms of tendering processes are standardized, and at the same time to ensure the bankability of those projects and their financial viability in the long run.
Now, localization is always an issue when it comes to major projects. What if any, are the benefits of entrepreneurs and businesses in Zambia around this project?
The Ngoni project will definitely bring directly or indirectly benefit for the local economies in terms of job creations, in terms of employment opportunities or new business opportunities, and in terms of transfer of skills. But most important, it will happen in a sustainable way, because it will be supporting a clean energy project. And what I think is important to highlight is also that the Enel Group always approach the business according to the so-called creating shared value model, which means a way to connect the business success with the progress of the society by implementing environmental and socio-economic plans for the benefit of the local communities.
What role has Enel Green Power played in this process?
Enel Green Power is the majority shareholders in the Ngoni project. We own 80%, and we have been involved in the development of the project from the beginning, from day one. Furthermore, the Enel Group will bring to the project the advantages of its vertically integrated business model, because we will be responsible for the development, for the construction, for the operation, and then for the management of the power plant. That is, I think, a perfect example on how the Enel capabilities can create value along the full value chain in the renewable energy sector.
Now, Marco, just finally, what's the way forward with regards to projects of this magnitude across the African continent?
I personally think that the way forward, if we want to procure and develop renewable projects in Africa, is that we have to apply the Scaling Solar program or similar programs in more African countries. I think that today we do have the Scaling Solar in only four countries. And the focus must be on those countries where we have, as we said, a weak regulatory framework, or not giving comfort enough to the investors, where the financial system is not solid enough to support the investments, and in those countries where we do have risks that still need to be mitigated and addressed, in a sense where the World Bank can play an important role to help the investors in making these projects happen.
Marco, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.